Stampers, Deb Valder here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you another version of the building block card. This is one I did for little Isabella, and she is a little princess. Let me just show you the inside. It is a block card, so it opens with a Z fold, and when you open it up, here we are. We have our little block, and if you can see the top, there's just a little hole, kind of like our last block card, but just a little bit different. So let me show you how I did this. I'm going to show you, first of all, I colored this one, which is in the same stamp set. The stamp set that I used was Stylin' Girl, and if you're looking at this in May of 2014, this is one of the retired sets, so you only have until the end of May to purchase this. And along with that is one of my favorites, and that is called Dress Up. So if you have a little princess in your life or a little girl that loves to stamp, why don't you pick up a couple of these before the end of May, before they're all gone. So let me just show you another thing that I wanted to point out. This one I did with just our regular markers, and this one I did with our brand new, starting soon, our new Blendabilities. They're an alcohol-based ink, and you can just see the difference between the colors. Let me just see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more. There we go. You see the difference? You see the vibrance of the, these are the ones that are the Blendabilities, and these are our regular markers. And don't get me wrong, our regular markers are amazing. They're a lot of fun. This has a whole different meaning to it. Let me just show you what I mean. Besides coloring beautifully, we can also do coloring on window sheets. We can do coloring on pearls and also on rhinestones. So let me just show you how I did the actual block card. I took a piece of cardstock that was 5.5 by 10.5, and I'm using our Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And what I did was I wanted to score the 10.5 inch side at 3.5 and 7. So I brought it over to the 3.5 inch mark. Oh, let me zoom out here. Sorry about that. Okay. So what I did was I scored at 3.5 and again at 7, and that's going to get me my Z fold. So when I go to fold this in our mountain valley type thing, the first fold is going to be our mountain fold, and our second fold is going to be our valley fold. You see that? Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so what we need to do is to cut the block pieces. So what I did was I folded it in half, and that is on my back piece. So here's my front, here's my valley fold. I'm going to take it, I'm going to close my valley fold, and I'm going to scooch this into 3/8 of an inch. And it's easier to work on this side, and that's why I really like the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. Okay, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it over at 3/8, excuse me. So I'm going to go to 3/8. I'm going to use my cutter, not my scoring blade. The cutter is the darker one. And I'm going to push down pretty hard. And I'm going to go down to 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down to 1.5 inches, and I'm going to go up. I'm going to do that a couple times just to make sure that I get through both layers. Then I'm going to scooch it over to 1 3/8. And do the same thing. Go down to 1.5 right here, and then up. 1.5 and then up. And then I'm going to scooch it over to, it's just another 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to scooch it over to 1 5/8 inch. And you're going to do that all the way along. Like I said, hop on over to my blog. Make sure you subscribe to my blog so you don't miss anything, because I do post things there that I don't on YouTube. So what I want you to do is I want you to take and I want you to score these with all the measurements that I'm going to give you on my blog. And when you're done, we need to turn it. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to turn it. And where this little cut mark ends on each side, we need to score these blocks. So I'm going to lay this up nice and flat up at the top where my my little ledge is, and I'm going to take my scoring. We want to get rid of this one because that's our cutter. Now we want to work with the lighter one, which is our scoring blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score from there to there, okay, just in between my cut marks. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to score it between here and here, and then I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to score it between here and here, lift it up, score it here. Then we're going to take and we're going to turn it again, and we are going to score here, and then here, and then here, and then here. And they don't have to be perfect. It's just a score, so that when we go to bend our pieces in, then you're going to be able to fold it nice and neat. So now what I have are these pieces right here. Okay, the scoring part is very, very important. If you don't have that scoring part, you're not going to be able to do the folding that I'm going to show you how to do right now. I like to use my bone folder, and what I do is I make sure that these pieces, the little tiny pieces, the 3/8 inch pieces, are bent in. Those are going to be my valley folds, and my 1-inch pieces, my 1-inch pieces are going to be my my mountain fold. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taking, this just kind of helps a little bit. So what I did was I just weaved my my bone folder in between the two, and you'll see that these score marks are right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to help them bend. So I'm just kind of bending each one of them up without bending these pieces right here or anything else that's in the way. So I'm just taking and I'm bending these pieces up. So they are valley folds. These little pieces right here are valley folds, and that's just going to help me get ready for my fold. All right, now I have this in here like this, and you can see which way it needs to fold now. You see how this is going to fold down, or the valley folds, and these are going to fold up. So, okay, you have this up here like this, and now what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to force it over so that these little boxes go in, and that these little tabs go out. Okay, do you see how I did that? And the bone folder really does help make it snug. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, now that we have that just like that, we're going to take and we're going to fold it in, and then we're going to take, and this piece right here, we're going to fold in. So now these edges should match and these edges should match. Okay, so now we have our piece that is our block card. You see how that works? Really neat. Okay, now it's time to decorate. All the measurements are going to be on my blog, so hop on over there and make sure you subscribe to my blog so you don't miss anything. A lot of times I'll give you extra cards done with the same technique or whatnot, so make sure you subscribe to my blog. And here we go. The measurements are on here. I just used a black piece as a silhouette, and then I used my designer series paper and my ovals collection to do one of these, and then my chevron embossing folder to put a little bit of texture in there. And again, like I told you at the beginning, I colored my little princess with my Blendabilities, which will be available soon. They probably will not be available June 2nd when the catalog comes out, unless you're a demonstrator and you can get them now. But I just colored her with my Blendabilities, and then I made her a little tiara out of our silver glimmer paper, and then I colored her rhinestones with my Blendabilities, and I made them the color of my paper, and I just thought that that was really absolutely awesome. I'll show you that in just a minute. And so that's the front of our card. I just want to add a little fork bow here, and I do have a video on fork bows, so hop on over to that and you can see how to do this absolutely gorgeous fork bow. And now for the inside. I took 2 pieces of the designer series paper that matched the outside, and I laid those on either side of my blocks. And then for my blocks, this one I happened to do one solid piece, and I scored it in the middle and added my blocks to it. Those measurements are also on my blog. And then this one right here, I just cut the individual pieces and mounted them to the black cardstock. Okay, so for both of these, I used a little bit of a different technique, but it all looks good. And you can use any 4-letter word that you want. Now this one happens to be a 5-letter word, okay, and I just doubled up on here. If you want to do thank you, you can double up on the THANK, and then down here just the YOU, and just put a little design down here. These happen to be from a new punch pack that we're going to come out with in June, and they're really adorable. I colored these pearls as well, the same as I colored the rhinestones, with my Blendabilities markers, and then just put them all together. And then when you close it up, this fits into a regular size envelope, and it's so stinking cute. I hope you enjoyed my post. If you have any questions, just let me know, and hop on, like I said, hop on over to my blog, because it's got all of the details over there, all of the measurements, and I really enjoyed bringing this to you. I hope you come back soon. Take care and have a great day.